All right, Eli. So you've reached success. How long have you been in Ecom Freedom?
I started Ecom Freedom March of 2022.
22. And how much money have you made in total in sales up until today?
Over 18,000.
18,000. And that was from one order?
That's from two orders,
Two
actually.
orders. Now, before we get into this video, I just wanted to mention that this is an honest and unpaid interview. I don't pay, anybody to come onto this channel and share their experiences. Every experience is unique, and also very importantly is that any earnings claims that you hear in this interview. So, if the student is mentioning a dollar figure, or if I mention a dollar figure, for example, 10,000, 20,000, or 50,000, it's not a guarantee that you are going to achieve the same result. Nobody can make such a guarantee, obviously, because business is business, and some people fail. Some people succeed. And honestly, success depends on a lot of factors, including your work that you put into it, the amount that you invest, market conditions, and honestly, sometimes just luck. And with that being said, I hope that you enjoy this success interview. Yeah, tell me, we're making this video to obviously share a real person's experience with Amazon and with, going through our Ecom Freedom mentorship program, which if anybody's watching this, they don't know, that's 6 years ago I started a course. Back then it was just a course. It was called Ecom Freedom. At the time it was called Amazon Freedom. I guess, this was started in 2017, and, we've basically become the top rated, Amazon mentorship program. We've also been around the longest, us and there was another company, but we definitely have the highest reviews. So very proud of it. So I'm happy to be able to meet you today. Thanks for coming on, and for you to
Thanks
share
for having me.
for you to share your experience. So tell us about yourself. Like, where are you from? What do you like? What's your background? Everything like that.
Yeah, so I'm living out in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
Oh, you're Canadian.
Middle of nowhere. Yeah.
Okay,
So
cool.
middle of nowhere, but basically how it all started was back in summer of 2021. Actually, I actually moved out west to Alberta, Edmonton, Alberta, and making like money out there. I wasn't making as much as I was living here in Winnipeg. So then I was like, oh man, I got to find a way to supplement my income. And I feel like a lot of people are in that same boat too, where it's just they want to make more money, especially with inflation and how just like life is and everything. People are just, they need extra cash, right? So
It's getting
I was
tougher. It's getting
spending like,
tougher out there.
yeah, it
Yeah,
is for sure. But yeah, I was spending like every night YouTubing, Googling like how to make money online, best ways to make money online. I mean, I'm sure everyone's done that.
obviously.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I knew about
Well,
Amazon FBA
the people
for,
that are watching this, the people that are watching this right now, they're doing that exact thing. They're typing in how to
yeah,
make money online.
exactly.
That's how
There,
they're
yeah,
finding this. So, yeah.
exactly. 100%.
Eli, how old are you, by the way?
Yeah. I'm 24.
And then, so you were 23 when you started?
23 when I started at Ecom Freedom.
23.
Yeah.
And what were you doing? What was your job?
I'm a massage therapist, actually, RMT.
Oh, sick.
So
Nice.
yeah, so with that, it's like it's service based, so I only get paid when I see people.
Yeah.
And moving to like a completely different city, the clientele, like I knew nobody, so I kind of had to start from like the ground and work my way up. And just that in itself, I'm like, okay, well, I got to figure out how to make money if I'm not making money like with a job, right? Basically, I was just Googling and YouTubing how to make money online, best ways to make money online. And I knew about Amazon FBA for the past, I want to say 3 or 4 years. And I'm just like, oh, cool. I mean, it's Amazon, whatever. And then I came across your 4 hour video, like almost everyone has. And I'm like, holy crap, like if this guy can put in this much value for free, it's a 4 hour video, right? So the course must be unreal. So then I did the 7 day free trial, and I don't know, it's like 2 modules or something that's like free for the 7 days. I was like, this is like some pretty good stuff. And knowing that we have access to like you, Jeff, and then Andrew at the time as well. I mean, that in itself is worth more than what the course is worth.
Yeah.
So
We
yeah,
have a
pulled
great
the
team. We have a
trigger.
great team of mentors. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I make sure like over the years, like it came to a point where obviously like, I kind of outgrew, just teaching Amazon and just kind of being
Yeah.
one-on-one. I'm still actually going to be doing the calls and stuff. We're going to be doing like a monthly call in the group.
Yeah.
And so that I'm excited for that, kind of like for overall connecting with the students and like, giving people direction and stuff. But I've always made sure to hire like $1 million mentors. Like Jeff, he's like he's like I think his Amazon business is at 1.5 million, and he's Canadian too. He's Canadian
Yeah,
too, selling on the
exactly.
US marketplace. That's for everybody watching. Like, that's just more proof, because you got Eli here and then you got Jeff, like, who's a big hitter. Like, they're both Canadian and they're selling successfully on the US marketplace. So, okay. So you were a massage therapist. So you decided to join the free trial. You got
Yeah,
started. How was that?
it was good. It was good. It was again, with not working a lot, I got to spend that time working and just building up my Amazon FBA business, and I was probably putting in like 3 to 4 hours a day, 3 to 4 times a week.
When you were
And
starting, right?
yeah, when I was starting, yeah. So
Yeah,
just a
yeah,
lot of just like watching the course videos, getting everything set up, product research was the most time consuming,
yeah,
obviously.
yeah.
But then yeah, getting my incorporation set up and just watching the videos, and yeah. So got started about April, May was when I opened up all the business bank accounts and incorporated myself. And probably spent May to August just doing product research, and then
Yeah.
August is
Took
when
a couple months. Yeah.
I got the green light from Jeff and the product check there, which is again that's huge too.
Yeah.
Getting green lights or red lights from guys who are selling like over a million on Amazon.
Can I share
So
with
I
people what that is, because so they don't know, because they don't know?
yeah,
Yeah. So for everybody who joins our mentorship program, basically, which is on an application basis now, essentially, like, we have a product check service. We don't want people to be launching products that are not vetted by us, because it's just like the easiest way to prevent failure. So obviously Eli benefited from that. Like, you spent time doing product research, and it also takes a different amount of time for people. It can be a month, it can be 2 months, it can be 3 months. For me, when I was starting out, uh, it took me like a month and a half to find my first one, which failed. And then it took me, but I already had a second one lined up that I knew I was going to launch if the first one failed. Second one came in, failed. But like, I broke even, actually. I did, so I
okay,
never lost money on the first two. And then the third ones, this was actually 3 months into it, 3.5 months. I went from like 0 to 32K at the time. I think it was something like that in revenue, at a large profit. Now, obviously, this was a different time. This was, 2017. There were way less products on Amazon, less competition. Um, and you can get away with kind of like launching simple products. But the actual good thing is that what people don't realize is that there are way more customers on Amazon today than there were in 2017. And you just have to follow essentially the way that we teach it, is especially innovating. So there's certain things you can do to make sure that, you're not just like going and taking a product off Alibaba, copying and pasting it onto Amazon. Like, that's not going to work. And anybody who's teaching that, they know or they don't know, but it doesn't work anymore, right? So you got to kind of you kind of have to go the extra mile. But that's just the way that that we teach it. Like, we teach people to actually build a successful business that lasts. So sweet, yeah. So okay, so you started, and then I was going to ask you, you were talking about like, how you were incorporating and stuff. So did you find like any difficulty with that, or did the course do a good job at showing you everything you needed to know?
oh no, yeah, the course covered everything.
Cool.
It's huge. I think it's in the
MBA.
MBA,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, the Ecom MBA. I just clicked on the link of Law Depot, plugged in all my info, and I was incorporated. I don't know how I forgot how long it took, but
Do you
yeah, it
know
was a
how
piece of cake.
annoying? Do you know how annoying that process is for people that don't have that information? Like, when I was starting out, I didn't. There was no course. There was no information. Like, I had to figure out. Okay, I'm Canadian, but I want to sell in the U.S. Do I need an LLC in the U.S.? Like, what do I need to do? Do I need to file sales tax? All this, nothing. There was no information on that, no explanation. So I actually had to
Yeah,
like figure that out myself. And I'm pretty shocked that not a single course out there, at least at the time, and honestly, even today, like, they kind of skip over this part. Like, they don't teach
yeah,
people like the whole incorporation thing, LLC thing. It's like, what do you do? And so we do. I think that we do a great job at that, in the MBA,
yeah.
which everybody gets, whoever is able to join the mentorship program. So I'm glad that you didn't have any issues. I'm glad that was easy, because that can be very, for somebody who's never started a business, they don't know where they have to pay tax, where they have to incorporate, what do they have to do. So, I made sure to lay it out properly. This is what you need. Step 1, 2, 3, done. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Made it as easy and simple as possible. So huge kudos to you, man.
Cool. So, okay. So you started, this was like in the spring. and then it took you a couple months to do product research. And then was the product that you ended up succeeding with, was that your first product or no?
Yeah, this is my first one.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Sweet. Actually makes
Yeah.
me very,
So
that actually makes me very proud because, it's rare that in general in the Amazon space, first of all, it's rare that people achieve success. It is business. Like anybody watching this right now, as I mentioned previously, like it's business. It's just like going to the gym. It's like the vast majority of people that buy a gym membership in January, they're not in the gym anymore by February, and so the vast majority
yeah,
of people that, they think it's easy, they think it's like whatever, and they're like, I'm just going to like try it, but they don't make a decision that they're going to succeed. They don't invest in themselves. They don't actually get the right information. They don't get mentorship. It's very hard to do this without those things,
yeah,
as you know, but the fact that you succeeded with your first product, that's huge,
yeah,
that makes me very happy knowing that, the way that I put everything together in the program, like it really helped you reach success with your first, or else that would have been very frustrating. You actually did better than I did because I had to go through two products and it was pretty stressful. I started to doubt
yeah.
myself a lot. I was like, I don't know, man, if am I going to have to go back to my bank job?
But I got I think I had like 4 or 5 ideas rejected, and like after the fourth or fifth one, I'm like, fuck. It's like, I don't know, man. Am I really cut out for this? And but then I kept telling myself, I'm like, I got to keep going. I got to keep going. Otherwise, like, I don't want to be 5, 10 years from now and think of like, oh my God, what
What if?
if
Yeah,
I
yeah,
became
yeah, yeah.
successful on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to live with the life of regret. I'd rather fail than regret.
It's exactly what I was thinking as well. I was like, there were times where I was really doubtful and I was like, is this even worth it? Is this going to work? Or am I just,
Yeah,
if it was that easy, everybody would be doing it. Like my mom used to tell me. And I'm like,
yeah,
no, mom, because people, it's just the way it is, right? Like it's what people think. But there were times when I was like, should I just kind of fold, and just kind of forget about this? But I knew deep down that if I did that, I would keep coming back to Amazon like every
yeah,
year because I knew that every year that went by, I would be getting deeper and deeper into slavery, to be honest, at my job and just in terms of like everything, how people are. And so I knew what was the point. I'm like, I might as well try now and like do my best rather than just wait like a year, 2 years, 3 years to just end up having to come back. And a lot of people do that. They give up,
yeah,
and then they come back. We've had so many people that like started, they took it a while ago, they gave up, and then they come back a year, and then they come back again, and they come back again. It's just the way it is. But okay,
yeah,
so but you had mentioned, I just want to clarify, you had
yep,
mentioned that you went through 4 to 5 product submissions to the to the mentors, to our
yeah.
mentor. Like you submitted 4 to 5 products and we rejected them, right?
Yeah, and I had like typed out like the competitive advantages I thought would be very, very beneficial and target market and all that. And yeah, no, they got rejected.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, you didn't. Just to clarify, that's for the product check service that we offer. You did not actually invest money into these products.
No, no,
No.
I
Okay.
wanted to get green lights before
Yeah.
putting any money into anything.
And the thing is, so many people do. Like, if you didn't have this, you probably would have invested in one of those initial product
Yeah,
ideas that
the
you had. And
first
you
one.
what? Yeah, the first one.
I
Yeah.
probably would, yeah, invested in the first one. And I mean, who knows what would
Well,
have happened, right?
so many people, they watch the videos and then they're like, okay, yeah, like mentorship course, whatever. I don't really need that, and they kind of cheap out. And like I don't blame them. I understand, like inflation, whatever, money's tight. But like, listen, it's like if you want to build a 6-figure or even 7-figure business, how are you going to do that if you can't even invest $1,000 or $2,000? Like that's what I never understood. Like people pay $50,000 for college. Okay, how much did you pay for your massage therapy training?
Like 2 years, it was like just over 20 grand.
20 grand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 grand. And so, and of course, like I have huge respect for massage therapists. I get massages regularly. I think it's great, but obviously you spent 20 grand, you learned what you needed to do, you got your certification, but then you ended up at a place where, okay, yeah, I'm doing massage, but I want more out of life, right?
Yeah. And that's just the thing too. Like where I'm working right now, I'm working at a chiropractic clinic, and that the clinic at one point was the busiest in the country in Canada.
Really?
And yeah, like the paychecks that I get are like pretty good. But then like I see the number on the check and I'm like, I had to put in like so many hours for these 2 weeks just to get this number when I can put in half the time or even like a third of the time through my online business. And I can get that or even more, right?
Even after spending $20,000 for your training, even
Yeah.
after all that, right? Because you got to climb the ladder, like you got to like put in years and years of your life. But the thing is
Yeah,
about
exactly.
life, and I can say this because I almost died. If anyone knows my story, they can refer to my YouTube channel. Like life is not guaranteed. You can go
Yeah.
like this at any moment. So it's like, do you want to live now or do you want to wait 20 years and then potentially to be
Yeah.
able to, kind of live your life? So cool.
Exactly.
Well, so okay, so then you basically launched your first product, and how did that go?
It was it was okay. I mean, PPC was I mean, you gotta learn all of that in the beginning. And when like me, I'm a brand new seller, so I didn't know too much. So I was asking Jeff and Andrew lots of questions just to get their insights, and just like looking at going to the community, getting asking questions, getting answers, and that was okay. And I mean, I remember when I got my first sale, I got my first sale beginning of December, and I remember I refreshed the app and I saw like one unit sold, and I'm like, fucking made it. I made
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I mean,
and
it's
then
that first
and then
sale,
the next
right?
day I got zero. Then I'm like, oh my God. But
Oh, it went back down to zero?
yeah, but then it went up to like three. Then it was like holding steady between like 3 to 8 or 9 throughout the holidays. And then January came, and I sold under like 2000 2K in revenue. But then February came, and that's when I sold like a couple thousand, and I actually ran out of stock. So I on it like it's so addicting to like look at the seller app and just keep refreshing
Yeah.
to see like, did
Yeah.
I make something, did I not? But I just kept telling myself, I'm like, okay, let's not look at that, let's focus on like the PPC, optimizing the listing, just things that the customers are seeing. And like, once if I can convey the value of my product, then people will buy,
For
and then
sure.
that'll make me money.
Yeah. And also too, like it's important to I want to paint a realistic picture. Like nobody is saying, for everybody watching, nobody is saying that, oh yeah, like you're gonna launch your product, it's gonna be like an absolute winner, and you're gonna make a ton of profit from your first order. No, you're building a real business. Anybody that's like teaching, anybody that's saying that, oh, like you can expect millions of dollars, like really quickly is obviously a scam, right? So, that's the truth. Like with e-commerce, you are spending money for a product, you're buying inventory, and when you have a new listing on Amazon, obviously you have like no reviews. You have to build up your reviews. There's established players or sellers, but that's where innovation comes in. That's where, the method that we teach, which we've come up with ourselves, that we've used successfully, that we use successfully, that the mentors use successfully for their $1 million businesses. Like that's what really allows you to kind of gain traction. And it's like people have this misconception, oh, like in 3 months I'm going to be rich. No, it's like, how about change that into like, what about in 1 year, I'm going to have a business that has sales, that has profit, maybe not, an enormous amount of profit, right? Because with e-commerce, it's like, especially when you're building up your listing and you're, with each subsequent order, with each order that you put in, as you can optimize your profits. You're always looking at, okay, what did I do? What was unoptimized in this? What can I learn from this past inventory order? And what can I change to make a higher profit in the next one, right? So I wanted to ask you, that aside, I
Yeah.
just wanted to clarify, for people to like have a realistic expectation, you know, how did it feel working as a massage therapist, working your job, but then refreshing your Amazon Seller Central between your clients and seeing
That's
sales come in?
exactly it. um, it was like just knowing that I was like making money while not physically doing the work. Yeah, in between clients, I'm like, oh man, like it felt good. It felt good knowing that with just like time and consistency, just being persistent, that I can eventually stop working a lot and start making that money passively. Well, not
Yeah,
passively, but like semi-passively,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Like I do, like don't get me wrong, I do love my job. I do love helping people, um, but it's a physical job, and
And you got to make money.
I gotta make money. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
especially
got
when
I
this when
gotta.
this busiest chiropractic office in the country is making so much money off of your back and off of your work, and then you see your paycheck and you're like, how much percent did they make off of these treatments versus how much they're paying me? Is it fair?
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Like
Yeah.
I total it up, and I'm like, I make like 55% of all like services,
Yeah.
but then that's
Which is
still
actually not bad.
45% like on the table.
Sorry,
Yeah.
what?
That's still like I make 55%, but then there's still 45% on the table that could potentially be mine.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just want to own a business
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
be in control.
Sweet. So I know you said you had 2 inventory orders, right? Total.
2 inventory orders, and my third one is actually, I think it might be in the States right now, or like it's gonna be in the States within the next couple of days, actually.
Mm-hmm. So you basically,
So I'm
from what I
super fired up.
understand, because you said you
Yeah,
made a total of 18K, you
yeah.
basically like you had your first order. Did you make profit off your first order?
No,
Okay.
putting money into PPC and
Because
yeah,
to launch, yeah. But even with the thing is though, is like during that time, especially with the PPC and everything, you got active help. Like you were able to message the mentors and stuff, right?
yeah,
Yeah. And so like they really helped you make sure to like, minimize as much as you can the launch costs, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
100%.
So
Yeah,
first order was like that. And that's standard. I always say for people, like, don't expect to make profit. Like if you break even off your first order, that's great. If you make profit off your first order, amazing. But like to expect like a 30-40% margin off your first order, it's not really realistic. Usually it's first
yeah,
order, you break even, then you sell out. You're like, okay, cool. This product is working. I got something good. Then you get your second order in. So did you make profit off your second order?
yeah. About 2K.
So, okay. So then you place a third order. How long has it taken to manufacture?
My lead time is about 30 days.
30 days. And so it's about to come in. And so what are your expectations now, like with this third order?
So I'm expecting to like sell out pretty quick. Now that I have skin in the game, I understand PPC. I have reviews now, which is great. So I'm expecting it to go very, very good. It probably won't be a walk in the park, but I mean that's just part of it, right?
But now you have an
But no, I'm very
established listing, right?
pardon. Yeah,
You have an
yeah,
established listing, and so you're also going to catch Q4, which for everybody watching is the
yeah.
busiest time in e-commerce of the year because it's Christmas sales and holiday sales and everything. So like sales go up dramatically. So you're going to actually catch it just in time. So how much profit are you expecting realistically to make off of this third order?
So off this, I'm thinking just under 6K.
Yeah, like that's not like a super boost. Like you think that's actually realistic.
It is realistic. Yeah, my profit margin right now.
Cool. And that's 6K US.
Yes.
How much are you getting paid monthly at your massage job, if you don't mind sharing?
Canadian, it's in between like 55 to 70, depending on like how much I work.
50, 50,
So
55 to 70 a year.
yeah, a year.
And
Yeah.
how much is that per month?
So
Well, I can tell you it's probably about 5 to
5,800.
yeah, 5 to 6K. And that's in Canadian. So in US, that's like 4K.
Yeah.
So if all goes well in your third order, you're expecting to make more than 1 month's paycheck working like a dog, sorry, at your massage
It's
job.
all good.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, 100%.
Okay. Cool. So obviously with Eli, and I'm really enjoying this part of it is that like this paints a very realistic picture for people watching. Like we realistically, guys, everybody watching, like just don't expect to reach like miracles. Don't expect to like, be a millionaire in 3 months or whatever, like, or a 6-figure business. Right. But like, how long did it take if you think about like, how long does it take people to even finish college? How long does it take people to, you know, stick to that normal societal script and still reach what? Still end up in slavery. Right. So it's like, with you, and I know this now, you probably are thinking like, okay, well, this has been my performance in the past year with this business. What about year 2 and year 3? Right. So
Exactly what
how do you feel about like, obviously this has changed you as a person, being able to make sales online and proving to yourself that, wow, there are other ways. Like, I'm not tied to just one thing. Like I'm not tied to just the massage job and I can make money online. How has that changed your financial confidence or your beliefs?
I write this down every day. Following your videos, the whole manifesting and all that stuff. I'm writing down every day like I'm so happy I'm making 10,000 a month, and seeing that and like the money that I can make off of one order, and that's 10,000 Canadian. So
Yeah.
6,000 US to Canadian. Now I don't know what that is, 7 or 8 grand maybe. Um,
6,000 US is like 8 grand Canadian. Yeah.
yeah. So seeing that, I'm like, I can clear 10K a month, no problem. And just
Absolutely.
like being able to control my income like that, like it's huge. It's huge. And I don't have to rely on, on my job, on the government, on anybody. And I can just, take control and I can just do it myself, which
Absolutely.
is absolutely huge. Yeah.
And also,
Yeah.
as well, I'm sure this has opened up your mind and is making you consider, okay, when I get my Amazon to 10K a month, what other business can I start? Right.
Yeah. And like I was already thinking about that too. And I was thinking of starting maybe coaching for massage therapists and how to like build a practice, or people who struggle with kind of like retaining clients and all that. I was thinking of yeah, doing something like that, but right now I'm just focused on Amazon, building my
You should.
brand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I don't want to chase two rabbits,
No,
basically.
yeah, I always say don't chase two rabbits, right? But like,
Yeah.
okay, you got one rabbit. There's a saying, a bird in the hat is better than a bird somewhere. I don't know. But anyway, you get one bird in the hat or one rabbit, whatever. And then it's think about it as money trees. Okay. You got to water the tree. You got to water the tree. Okay. The tree reaches a point where it's kind of like it's chilling. It doesn't need that much water. You kind of have to water it every now and then. Okay. Money tree
Yeah.
is good. Make sure that, no one comes and destroys your tree or kills your tree. No animals come and like rip the leaves off, whatever. Right. So you watch your tree, but then you can work on your second tree and your third tree and your fourth tree. And you kind of build up one tree at a
Yeah.
time. And me and Eli were actually talking about this earlier in the call. I was actually giving Eli just some like advice as well for like a future kind of income stream that he can explore. Since he is a massage therapist, like there's a huge industry right now in um, basically like coaching and like helping people in certain niches and certain businesses. For example, helping massage business owners or helping massage therapists start their own practice or helping them get their own clients and stuff. That's not a hard thing to do. And people might think, like you might think, oh, like but I'm not, I wasn't doing this for many years. It actually doesn't matter at all. There's a saying that you only have to be about, I think it's about 10 or 20% ahead of everybody else. And that's enough knowledge for you to actually teach it. And anybody who says otherwise, they're hating. They're just hating. Everyone's, they're just haters, jealous, envy, right? So that could be a great idea for you, honestly. I really see you
Yeah, for
doing
sure.
that. And that way too, you can have your Amazon, you're building that, you can have the coaching, and then that way, what better way is there to feel secure like financially in your life and just to feel a sense of security and freedom than to have different things, where that if one
Yeah.
screws up, because shit happens. I mean, I've had problems with Amazon. We've all had problems with Amazon, but any business, no matter what you do, like there's going to be headaches. There's going to be fires that pop up. Even if you were just to be a massage therapist at your job, it's not easy, every day. Like there are fires
Not
that
at
pop
all.
up. There are things that pop up. So it's like choose your, pick your heart is what I say. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also the reward too at the end is freedom. And what better thing is there than freedom? That's what everybody strives for. Do you see a light at the end of the, maybe not the tunnel, but do you see like a future where you are free and you are doing the things, like for example, what are some of the things that you want to do? Let's say you're making 10,000 a month in profit just from all your
Yeah.
stuff. What is your life like?
My life,
Yeah.
I'm not working. I'm just focused on building my business and spending time with my loved ones, my family, my friends, and all that. Traveling the world, being
Where do
in
you
the
want to
best
go?
shape of my life.
Yeah. Where do you want to go?
Um, where do I want to go?
Yeah.
Um, in the goals book, it's Fiji,
Fiji's good.
Iceland,
Iceland's good.
Switzerland.
Switzerland's good.
I've been to
North.
Hawaii before, but
Add
Hawaii's
Norway. Add
unreal. I
Norway.
mean,
Add Norway.
at Norway, okay, I'll get it
Yes.
on
Add
there.
Norway and add New
Um,
Zealand. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. Like just being around like like being around mountains,
Yeah.
and just smelling just all that fresh air.
Yeah.
It really kind of just grounds me.
So if you're 24 today, when with this new freedom mindset and with like all these new, I guess this new shift in your whole kind of being and your thinking, when do you expect realistically to achieve that, what you just said, like where you're traveling and loving life and you're going to these places and working on your business? When
I'm
do you
gonna
feel
say
intuitively that you can get there?
like realistically, optimistically, I'm gonna say 2025.
25, yeah.
2025 is what I think will be like a good point. Next year, I know it's going to be a lot of just like still building and learning and scaling and all that. But once I really get the wheels rolling and just like building momentum after momentum, 2025 I think is going to be the go-to.
Yeah.
Especially like I'm getting older. I got a girlfriend. We want to save for a house, but I mean, houses even like here in Winnipeg and Manitoba, like it's affordable compared to say like in BC or out in Ontario, right? But still, you're looking at like a decent house is still like six, seven, 800,000. And like, you're working your 40 hours a week and you're saving your 10-15% of your paycheck. Like, how long is that going to take?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah. And also too, it's like, let's not even, I mean, the real question is, if you just stuck to what you're making at your massage business, working like a dog, you know, how would you ever really be able to afford that down payment? And how long would that take? It'd probably take you 10, 20
Exactly. Yeah.
years, you know?
Yeah.
And
And then
by then, in 10,
I'd be
20
working to
years,
live.
what are houses going to be? What are houses going to be in 20 years?
Exactly.
Like what,
Yeah.
3 million in Winnipeg? I mean, dude, the currency is inflating away as we speak. They're printing money left and right, like just nothing, and it's almost like an agenda. So, I fully agree with you in 2025, and not just with Amazon. Amazon is a great starting point, just like it was for myself,
Yeah.
but once you see, once you open the door and you kind of see through it and you see it, you're like, wow, there's this whole new world that I didn't even know. Then you're in that world and you start to see the opportunities, and maybe you can do the coaching thing, or you could do affiliate marketing and stuff. I'm going to be talking a lot about that on my channel, but it's important to start with one. Everybody watching this, start with one thing, just like Eli,
Yeah.
so sweet, man. So just as a final thing, like, I want you to be realistic with people watching this. Can you tell them, in terms of online business, Amazon, can they start with this with free videos? Can they start this, with just trying to figure it out themselves? And what is your advice?
Well, I mean, yeah, watching the free videos and stuff, like you can, like with your 4 hour video, you can definitely like learn how to do the product research and set up your listings and all that. But trying to do it like all yourself and not seeking out mentorship or anything, like I think it's a one-way path to failure, honestly. But when you have the mentors and you have like an A to Z course that will help you and answer every single question that you may have, um, it's definitely going to shortcut your time to success. It's not going to be fast. It's not going to be quick. Um, but what may take like a year and a half, 2 years will take you like 6 to 8 months, maybe,
But that's still
right?
no time
Um,
at all compared to spending five,
exactly,
10 years in
right?
slavery with a paycheck that is barely going up compared to inflation. Right? Like, who
Yeah,
knows? Gas prices might literally be $5 a liter,
yeah,
like, and then, well, they are. That's the thing. Like, they literally are. Like, because they want everybody to, electric cars and everything. So it would make
yeah,
sense if the gas prices went up, right? So it's like, there's no choice. That's why I got into this in 2017. I didn't see a choice. I'm like, I have to do business and I have to make this work. And I encourage everybody watching this to also believe in themselves and know that, just like myself and just like Eli, they can do it too, but you have to do it smart. You can't be reckless, and you have to follow the right people, right? As
yeah.
Eli did. And my question to you is, if you look back, you remember how much money you invested into the program compared to where you're at today, would you say it was worth it?
100%,
Yeah.
110%. I'd do it again.
Sweet.
Yeah, it was totally worth it. I remember the payment being taken out, and I'm like at first I'm like shit, like
Yeah.
it's not cheap, especially with not
Nerve
working as
wracking.
much. But then like I just kept telling myself like I'm gonna make this back and more. I'm gonna like 100x this.
Yeah.
So like just that mindset and just being able to just reassure myself with what like investing in myself basically was very reassuring, knowing that my little investment in Ecom Freedom is gonna pay 100 or 1,000x.
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. You're going to look back in 5, 10 years and you're going to remember that little investment that you made into the program. And you're going to see where you're at in your life in 5, 10 years if you keep doing this. And you're going to be like, wow, that was like 1%, 0.1%, of like
Yeah,
where I'm at, and you're going to remember that as being the program that like opened the doors to you, for you, not just for Amazon, but this whole world. Right. And so I
yeah,
look forward to, interviewing you next year, 2 years, see where you're at. And,
yeah, for
I
sure,
think
man.
honestly, 2025 is a very good, realistic expectation. I think as you scale your Amazon business and you do it diligently and not recklessly, as I always say, and then you also look into other ways to make money online. So anyway, Eli, thanks so much for being on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Dan. Really appreciate it.
If you enjoyed the student success interview and you want to get started, you're tired of waiting, you want to achieve freedom, and you want to build that successful e-commerce business, click on the link down below to check out the Ecom Freedom Elite Mentorship Program. It is the highest rated e-commerce mentorship program online. We only work with a limited amount of students every quarter. We only take 200 people per quarter per course, whether that's Amazon or Shopify. So when you click on that link, if you see a wait list, then put in your email and you're going to get an email as soon as we are opening up the next round of mentorship students, which is every quarter, 200 people. So if you want to do this, you want to do it the right way, and you want to work with people who have blazed this path before and who have achieved success, you want to work with $1 Million mentors, go ahead and click on the link down below to put in your application to join the Ecom Freedom Elite Mentorship Program. We only work with people who fit the profile of somebody who would succeed. We know there's lots of different factors, and since we've worked with thousands of people and brought them to success, we know the kind of person who succeeds, and we only want to work with people who really know we can help. So check that out, click on that link, and put in that application form if you want to get started and you want to achieve freedom now. Thanks so much for watching. For the best freedom and online business information out there, for the best, truth, freedom, and for the information that will set you free, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching.